Hey guys, today I'm going to do kind of a draw my life video. It's going to be one specific part of my life, running, for National Running Day, which was 3 days ago, June 5th. So, running for me started 6th grade PE. I immediately started to love PE, but the thing I loved the most in PE were pacers. I immediately got attached to them. My first pacers was 33, which now looking back at it, it wasn't the best, but for me at that time, I was so excited about it. That was awesome for me. And we were divided into 4 groups for pacers. For my group, I was like 5th or 7th, which was awesome for me. So I strived harder. Second pacers got 48. That's a major increase. And I was 3rd in my group. Then the third pacers, I got 51. I tied in 2nd place in my class, or not my class, my group. And I tied with this girl named Katie. Katie, she is an amazing soccer player. She is an amazing soccer player and friend, and she is really good at endurance stuff, and sprints, and hurdles. That's what she was really good at in track. So, Katie and I tied. Then came the third pacers. And for the third pacers, I actually got 1st in my class with a score of 70, which was awesome for me. But there were like 2 really good guys that were sick, so I would have actually been 3rd. But I took that victory, and I was really proud of myself. The first guy's highest score then was 76. So, then came second semester, which originally I couldn't do PE because you could only do it 1 semester per year. But every single semester, besides the first semester of my 8th grade year, I found a way. And I got back in PE so ecstatic and so excited. I was so happy to be back in PE. So, going into PE that semester, I was like the class champion for 6th grade. Okay? I was like the hero, the champion, like I already said. Oh, yeah, I was the champion for 6th grade pacers. The first pacers there for 2nd semester, I got 71, which wasn't too much of an improvement, but for most of the starting semesters, I only improved by a little bit or stay static. Or in a bad case of scenario, I drop by a little bit. So first pacers is kind of rough, but later on I improve a lot. So in this new class, the intensity was upped by a lot. And there were 3 athletes, Cameron, Colby, and Jackson. The second pacers came, and I got 76. Colby got 74. Cameron got 74 also. And then Jackson got 70 or 72. So they were getting really close to me, and that kind of got me nervous and a bit scared because I didn't want to lose my throne. That was supposed to be a crown. Yeah, I didn't want to lose my throne. Then came the third pacers. I got 76 again, which wasn't too bad because that day I started to get really, really sick. And Cameron tied with me. And Jackson got 74. Then Colby got 78. He was also pretty sick. But that was the moment when I got really scared. I lost my throne, and I really wanted it back. So, then came the last pacers. I was preparing for it so hard, and I really wanted to do something that would boost me back in my throne and give me my crown back. For the last pacers, Jackson. He might have been there. Jackson, I think, got around his old score, or he wasn't there. He got like 70 something. Cameron also got like 70 something. Let's just say 76. Colby got 80, which was extremely good. But I didn't even expect this. But I jumped in there and I got 90. I for sure was the class champ after that. Congrats to those other guys. So, that was very awesome. But during that semester, I actually had my best friend, Dylan. If you guys look at my older videos, you might see him in some of them. And he actually told me that I should join track because he was doing it too. We were going to sign up together. And I didn't know what track or cross country was, but he explained what track was for me. And when I heard it had to do with running, I immediately joined. So, joining track, I was thinking to myself, I'm totally a sprinter. Because short distance is very easy and long distance is very hard. So, I would be super good at short distance because it's easier. The mindset of 6th grade me. So, I actually turned out not to be too good at sprints. Every time I did my 100, I was always in the second to last or the last heat. And that was very discouraging. But then I heard my friend, or I saw my friend Caesar. He did the 800. And watching him do it, I was like, you know what? This is awesome. So I decided to join it with him. And I loved the 800. I was actually surprisingly pretty good at it. I got a 30, or not 30. I got a 308 for my first time. That's pretty good for a 6th grade. Then I finished the 6th grade year with a 2:57, which was very exciting and very awesome. I broke 3 minutes. And I still did the sprint workout a little bit because that At that moment, I was kind of transitioning into distance. I didn't for sure know if I wanted to do it or not, and I just naturally did the sprint workout. But I started to fall into distance more and do it towards the end of the season. And the bummer is we had this assistant coach. She did distance. She was like barely out of high school or something. Maybe she was in high school. Just a senior. And I'm not going to say her name, but she had the same name as my great-grandma, who is sadly deceased now, but I thought that was pretty cool. But here's the thing that was not cool about that assistant coach. So, when we were supposed to be running, instead, she was on her phone doing like Instagram or some weird stuff like that. And the rest of the team wasn't really focused, or the distance team. So that really got me upset because I wanted to practice and do the distance workout. But they were all lollygagging. That changed though whenever Oni was doing the practices. And now that I think of it, I didn't even say the coaches who did track and field. So I'm going to say them right now. Oni. Oni is awesome. He's my cross country and track coach. I'll explain more about him and do some exposition on him later. And Coach Ray. Coach Ray is also awesome. Coach Tiller and Coach Unga Fu. I hope I spelled her name right. They are all awesome coaches, but I mainly got close to Oni and Ray. Ray was the sprinting coach, and Oni was the distance and hurdles. Ray also did the high jump. So, now, transitioning into cross-country season. Oh, wait, before I get into that, so, something that was very awesome that track season, we had athletes of the week every single week. It was for outstanding athletic behavior, or pretty much something you did to impress the coaches. And normally, either Gatorade or chocolate was given. Chocolate milk. And Oni, a lot of the time, gave chocolate milk. Mrs. Ray and the other coaches gave Gatorade. Oni just had a thing for chocolate milk. So, one of those weeks, I was actually the athlete of the week. And that was awesome. Coach Ray was the one who nominated me. And whenever they nominate an athlete of the week, they say really nice stuff about them and things that impress them and things that they just love about that athlete. That got me so excited, and I was so proud. So, just had to add that in. So, then came cross country 2018. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have this video into 3 parts. So, or 2 parts. I don't know. So, then came cross country, like I was saying. And cross country actually starts in the summer. And that summer, going into my 7th grade year, I wanted to run 200 miles to get into a mileage club. And I was doing pretty well, but then I sprained my ankle. Okay? I sprained my ankle going camping. I went to this place called the Blue Pools. Well, that was actually a cool hike. and trail. I actually went camping in the Redwood Forest in Oregon. And if you're looking for a camping place this summer or some other summer, I'd highly suggest going there because that is an amazing place. Once again, Redwood Forest, Oregon. And I think California has it too. So, we went on that trail to the Blue Pools. And of course, I was running, so I was like half a mile in front of the rest of my family. And Dylan was there too. And it was a blast with him. So, I wanted to get down to the pools, okay? But I didn't know how to get down. There was this log back there. That was the way you were supposed to go. But I couldn't see behind the rocks and all that other stuff that was in my way. So I was like, how do we get down this? And I was like, you know what? I think we go down here. Everyone else probably did it this way, so I'll be safe. Even though it was a pretty high, you jump down there. So I went down there, and I panicked because I almost fell off the edge. Or so I thought. I actually probably was pretty safe. But I was still panicking and didn't want to get off the edge. So I rolled down that and stumbled, and I sprained my ankle. But when I sprained it, I was thinking, please don't say I sprained my ankle, because I think this is something that mainly happens when you get older. The sprains or whatever, they don't hurt as much. Or maybe long term they hurt more, but mainly they're just annoying. So I think as you get older, you feel less pain and get more of a tolerance. So I did almost cry when I sprained it, but it was more the thought, holy shoot, I can't run anymore. Even though I did run afterwards. Because, well, I still wanted that 200 miles. And about the Blue Pools is freezing, okay? It's clear water, and the reason why it's clear is because, well, like I said, it was freezing. No bacteria could grow. Or very, very little. So it was beautiful. You could see clear down to the bottom. And I'm not over-exaggerating, not making up stuff. And I know a lot of people who do. So just making it clear, you could see straight through that water. And everyone was just diving in for a little bit and getting back out because it was super cold. And even though I had a sprained ankle, I still went in because, well, it's something that I probably do only a few times in my life. It's quite the experience. It's quite the experience. Gosh, I'm stumbling over my words today. So then, going back to cross country, the fall season was starting, and I did get my 200 miles, which was awesome. But they were like a bunch of over-exaggerated miles. So it's a good thing I turned my paper in super, super late and my coach didn't count it. Because I probably ran like 50 over-exaggerated miles or more. I also did cross-training too, like swimming or whatever, and converted those into miles. But I didn't truly know what a mile felt like, and I had no way to track my distance. So I probably ran way less. But I thought I exceeded my goal. So I was very excited. And the first day of fall cross country, because I had my ankle sprained, right? I went to the bleachers, which is where our team normally meets, and I was actually at practice a little bit late. And it's actually the back of the bleachers. And my team was huddled up right here. The track right here, although we normally don't do track because that's not the cross country style. My team was huddled up right here. Oni right here. I ran up to them, limp running up to them, just putting my stuff down and about to go with the team. Then Oni saw me limp running, and he asked what I did, and I replied back, I twisted my ankle, which I don't know if it was that bad. I think I just got the first word that was close to spraining my ankle and went with it. I don't know how bad a twisted ankle would be. My ankle was pretty bad though, and I had to diet down everything and kind of stay off of it for like months. And the last few months, it was getting way better, but I still couldn't run on it like my other ankle. And fun fact, it was actually my left ankle. I always sprain my left ankle. I've never sprained my right ankle, and I've only sprained my ankle like 3 times. So, kind of sucky, but also kind of funny because my left ankle is my starting ankle. And speaking of starting ankle, I actually am what you call ambidextrous, okay? That's when you could use both sides of your body and they're both dominant. Except I'm a special, well, I don't know, special type of ambidextrous. I think there's 2 types. One where you could equally use both sides of your body and they're both like very dominant. How I was though, my right side was my strength side and my left side was my agile side.
I'm fine, Papa. What? I'm fine.
So that's a fun fact about me.
Why?
So I went to practice and my coach didn't want me running like any good coach would do. He sat me out and, well, he didn't want me running with a sprained ankle because I'd just make it worse. But I was eager to run still because I loved running and I didn't want a sprained ankle to get in the way of that. It kind of sucked though because I saw all of my teammates running without me. I was just sitting there.
Yeah, I just took a bunch full from outside.
And watching them run. Then school started. I didn't go to practice for a while because, well, Oni didn't want me practicing with a sprained ankle. But then it got a little bit better, and he told me, he invited me to come back, and I was like, you know what, my ankle's pretty good now, I'll go back. So I came back, started practicing with the team a little bit late, and I missed my first meet because of that. Then I missed my second meet because, well, it was canceled. And another thing that happened, during the practices, we have Athlete of the Week in cross country too. And Oni, he actually nominated me as Athlete of the Week. And I already got that in track, but every time you get nominated, that's just awesome. So he nominated me, and he said stuff like, well, he actually said, like, quote, he called my ankle a bummed ankle. And that's just kind of how he is. He's kind of funny, and with his wording, he uses unique words like that, and more silly words like that. He's a really cool, bald, and awesome, funny guy. And that was awesome for me. Okay, I was so excited to get that. I didn't even expect it. And I got it. So, thank you, Oni, for getting me that chocolate milk. It tasted really awesome. So, then came the third meet, which was my first. And I was so pumped. That was my first meet. And I finished very well on that. For my team, I got third junior varsity, or third JV. And that was an amazing start, especially coming off from a sprained ankle. And third junior varsity or third JV, I was thinking to myself, I'm the 10th fastest guy on that whole team. But in reality, there were probably like 3, 4 girls faster than me. So I was more like 14th. But I was still very, very excited. Then came the next race, my second one, Bob Furman. Okay, Bob Furman is this really wealthy guy, and he is awesome, okay, because he paid so we could have this amazing state event. And he actually signed my racing bib both years, and that was very awesome. He is a super kind man, and I appreciate him doing that. Really, really good for kids like me and other kids. That it really means a lot when you think a big, wealthy guy like that just puts not all of his money, but a lot of his money towards making kids happy and making a big race. Like, he puts so much money towards that. So, amazing man right there. So, in Bob Furman, there were these 2 guys ahead of me in JV. It was Julian, a guy that I was very, very close with. And then Abe, I wasn't too close with him, but I respected him because he was on my team and he was a good runner. So, during that race, I didn't expect to do that, but I passed Julian and Abe. And Julian I was always kind of neck and neck with, but Abe, I've never beat him before. And they were both 8th graders, I was a 7th grader, so that was awesome. So I passed them, and I finished the race 7th out of my team, which was barely in varsity. So I made varsity. But here's the thing. One of the varsity runners is named E. That's what I'm just going to call him. E. He got super, super angry because I kicked him off of varsity by stealing his spot. And he told me stuff like, Zakin, I'm going to kick you off. I'm going to get my spot back. Except, well, I don't know. I'd like to say he was kind about it. He just really wanted his spot back. I guess he wasn't kind, but he wasn't a jerk. He just really wanted his spot back, and that kind of scared me. So, next race came the Sage Valley race. And E is actually, he was in the same grade as me, and he was a really good runner. So, Sage Meet came. And he ran in JV because, well, I kicked him off of varsity. I stole his spot. And that race, I was just totally worried for my spot. And that whole race, I was stuck last on our team, and I was like near the back of the varsity race. The varsity race is just an entire different league than JV. So it was very rough for me. But then, at the end of the race, like last 600 meters or so, I saw this big 8th grader. His name is Ronaldo. And Ronaldo, I saw him weakening, and I was like, you know what? Even though I was quite a bit behind him, I was thinking to myself, if I really wanted my spot on varsity, and I wanted to keep it, I had to pass him. And I did. After that, I secured my varsity spot. I didn't get kicked off. Elijah didn't kick me off like he said he was. I wasn't going to stay on for varsity for like one race. Because a lot of the time, the 7th varsity runner he would barely keep his spot, and he wouldn't be on there for long. The 7th spot was always that spot where it was like, you're going to get kicked off next race or the race after. But no, that wasn't me. And Ronaldo, I think he ate something wrong that race. We had French toast sticks or whatever for lunch. I didn't eat that though. But he did, I'm pretty sure. Because, well, he felt like crap. And that was awesome because I got my spot. I saved my spot. Ronaldo, just to give some exposition on him, Ronaldo's a really awesome runner. I think distance is he tries distance, but I think he's best at like the 800 or the 400 track distances. But he is pretty good at distance too. A for effort. So, Ronaldo, yeah, he got kicked off of varsity now. So, that was 2 people I kicked off of varsity. And he was in JV. And then Elijah, I said his name. Oh well, I totally didn't say his name. E did get back on varsity, but not the spot he wanted. I got 6th varsity. He got 7th. I beat him by 3 seconds. So that got him annoyed too. Then came our last race, districts. And for districts, I had 2 chocolate milks. Yeah, and chocolate milk is an excellent recovery drink. It's a perfect balance of sweet and nutritious protein. But you do not want it before your race. It's a post-workout drink. So just for all of you who might think of drinking chocolate milk before a race, don't do it. It will screw up your race. So that race, I got kicked off of varsity and did very bad in my opinion. Now I was like 2nd JV, which isn't horrible actually, but I felt like I did bad. So, yeah, lesson to learn, guys. Don't drink too